everybody, Meriden Gaming here, and we're back in Elite Dangerous, my favorite spaceflight simulation game. And today we're going to take on a more advanced topic than the previous ones we've been doing, engineering. Now, what is engineering? Engineering is basically upgrading your weapons, your utilities, your core internals, and your optional internals to make your ship better. Once you find that one ship for whatever type of way you want to make money, and you want to make it the absolute best of the best. Now, for me, that's combat. I absolutely love combat in Elite Dangerous because, I mean, let's face it, we're flying spaceships with guns and blowing everything up. How can that not be fun? I know some people like trading or mining or whatnot, but for me, it's combat. So for me, I found this ship a few weeks ago. Well, probably more than a few weeks ago. Anyway, I found this, the Alliance Chieftain, which we're actually on my main account today because my Meriden Gaming account does not have engineers unlocked yet, but that's beside the point. I like this ship because, it had good maneuverability, great weapon placement, decent hull, but I really still couldn't take on those bigger ships like the Anacondas and the, Type 10s, the Clippers, the Cutters, the Fer-de-Lance, because even though it was a good all-round combat ship, it still didn't have quite the firepower I needed. I needed to upgrade my internals and my weapons in order to deal with those bigger ships. So let's go ahead and take a look if I can remember what key combination is to get it. Okay, there we go. So actually, let me show you how to get to the engineers first. So when we're looking at upgrading parts, what you have to do is you have to first unlock the engineers. Now, starting off, you're probably only going to have one or two that you can see. Most of them will have this whole locked icon. The first one, though, I believe the first one for me was either Felicity, Farseer, or Todd. I think it was Felicity. So with Felicity, and they also have ranks like or experience. With her, they start off at rank 1, like say for him, it says invited, so I haven't actually leveled him up. Dweller, I've got to level 3 because see, here's his experience bar. But Felicity. Now, the way it works is you will, like for example, travel so many light years away, or you'll trade at so many stations, and you will start to gain access. Like for Felicity, I gained it from a public data sources. So I had to scan something in order to gain access to her. Probably a nav beacon or something, I think. And then after that, I gained her because my Pilots Federation exploration rank is Scout or higher. So I was exploring, and then as I turned in that cartography data, it gave me access to her to where I could actually do a small task in order to actually unlock her, which for her was I filled an initial contract by providing a unit of meta alloy. So I had to go purchase a unit of this and bring it to her, and that gave me access to unlocking her. Now, the way this works is as you rank up one, once you get them like 3.5 levels, then you start unlocking ones further down. So it's kind of like a tiered system. Like for example, I've already got, actually I probably have them all because I've been working hard to unlock everybody. It's not going to show it. So typically, okay, yeah, see, it says where I learned about Mel Brandon from Elvira Martuk. So that means once I had got to that 3.5 level, then he popped up to where I could actually see him. And then I have to do special things in order to unlock him. But that's how you unlock the engineers. So let's go ahead and go over to the engineer panel. So each engineer has a few things that they can do. Typically, they only have one, maybe two, that they can upgrade to grade 5. So you have different grades, grades 1 through 5, of course. Grade 1 being the lowest, grade 5 being the best for each individual component. So let's say, if Ira Martuk had frame shift drive, but she can also do a little bit in the other one. So you may not be able to get these components perfect, but they will give you a boost in order to do, or in order to, get a little ways there to give you that little extra. Because sometimes, like say for your power plant, you just need that little bit of extra power to put on those bigger weapons. And basically, like this website called inara.cz, INARA.cz, and then engineers. You go to Galaxy, and then engineering, and you can actually Google Elite Dangerous Engineer list. This is one of the first ones that pops up. But this shows you how they're unlocked and what they have as far as grades. So this is a great place to come look. And then, of course, some it says, like if it's got an arrow going down, that means you unlock this person from the person above them. But then also if it's got a plus, that means both these people are unlocked from the person above them. So that's where you have to get to the level 3.5 in order to unlock the next tier. And it just works its way down as you go. And I don't know what this icon means. Anyway, so as you see, you can get all kinds of different things. Now, you're probably wondering, what difference does it make? Well, let's take a look at this. This is a standard Alliance Chieftain, the base model of the ship that you just saw. For shield, I don't really have that much. It's got 162 absolute, which we'll just focus on the absolute. Like that is the lowest number. There's not a lot of weapons that actually do absolute damage. Typically they do kinetic or thermal. And so let's just look at these two numbers to give you an idea. It has 162 shield and 504 armor. Now this is with the lightweight, which mine is engineered, so I've got a higher level thing. You can see resistances, it's explosive and kinetic. It takes a lot of damage up here. It takes a lot of damage from thermal. But then you also have your, all your internal components. As you see, a base model has nothing. By the way, we are actually on a website called Coriolis.io, which is the Elite Dangerous kind of ship builder, where you can kind of build out your ship, figure out what you're trying to do, and it gives you the stats and how much it's going to cost. But then the other thing we can look at is offense. So right now, 13 damage thermal, because I've just got a couple of lasers. So as you see, not really that much damage. And I can pick up here, if I was going up, say, against an Anaconda, select an Anaconda, it would take me, let's see, 35 seconds to take down his shield, and then 5 minutes to take down his armor. Now this is with the basic weapons it comes with, so that's not really a great example. But as you can see, yeah, not all that great. So let me go ahead and import my current build. Let's see, import. I've already got it saved. Proceed. Now let's take a look at this. 1,000 absolute shield and 3,000 armor. That's right. So we upgraded quite a bit. So for example, and then we come down here. Wait, this may not actually be Multicannon. Yep, nope, I forgot to change this. Where is my other multi-cannons? Okay. So yeah, we can actually do a little bit of nope, multi-cannon. I need to save this again because apparently I did not save it the last time I edited it for multi-cannons. Okay, but for example, say standard multi-cannon, like this thing has 6.8 DPS, which that's the main thing we're going to focus on with the multi-cannons because that's what I'm going to be upgrading these for. So what you can do on here is you come to this modifications button, and this is the engineering. So for this, depending on what I was doing, I've got different options. Like I've got efficient if I want to make it to where it doesn't draw as much power and use as much charge on my power distributor. We have high capacity, which is a good option as well. Gives me more ammo so I can stay out there longer. Lightweight, make stuff more lightweight in order to be able to jump farther. Long range, overcharge. So what we're actually going to be looking for is overcharge, because this is what gives me one of the most damaging upgrades for the multi-cannon. Now this is a grade 1 multi-cannon, so it's not going to do that much anyway, but anyway, we're going to upgrade to rank 5. So it went from, what was that, 6.8 to 11.6. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot, but especially when you're doing these larger multi-cannons, look at that, 32.2. So that is much larger. So let me actually, if I switch off this multi-cannon and switch it back, we can actually see it. So it started off with 18.8 or 18.9, and it goes up to 32. So that's almost 14 extra points of damage per shot. Or no, it's damage per second. So we shoot multiple shots per second, it looks like. But then you also have what's called experimental effects. So what experimental effects are, it changes the um, it changes how the weapon reacts. So you have those basic things like the long range, the overcharge, and stuff like that. But then you have like all these specialty kind of effects that you can do, like corrosive. Now, what corrosive does is it makes the enemy's or your target's armor resistance go down, so you do more damage. You've got, say, smart rounds. So if you accidentally shoot one of your allies or a non-wanted target, it doesn't do, or it doesn't count as damage. Um, Autoloader, which is one of my personal favorites for large multi-cannons. Basically, instead of having to reload every time, it just automatically is constantly loading ammo into your multi-cannon. You can't fire indefinitely, but it does help a lot. But anyway, as you can see, it makes a big difference on my damage output. Um, so we were doing what? It would take us... Wait, that is weird. Oh, it's because I'm on the Eagle again. So yeah, remember where it would take us like 5 minutes, which I did not finish these, did I? Okay, so hold on, let's finish that. That and was autoloader on these two? I don't remember now. Probably. Because I have one that has corrosive, which helps a lot. So that it'll serve the purpose for this example at least. Autoloader. Okay. So remember how it's going to take us 5 minutes to take down that base anaconda? 13 seconds. That's right. 13. From 5 minutes to 13. Shield, 9 seconds. So as you can see, engineering makes a huge difference when it comes to combat, but it also makes differences in other areas. So, for example, frame shift drive. My basic frame shift drive, which if we just switch back and forth, where is my range? Okay, so my range here. With the basic 5A frame shift drive for the ship, I can jump unladen, which is your basic, 14.92. That's not that far in Elite Dangerous. Now, if I come in here and give it, say, increased range, and I don't remember what I do. I think it's Mass Manager for this. Now I can jump 23.87. So almost, not quite double, maybe like 80% further with this full loadout. You also have armor. So, I selected a better armor, although this one's more for the resistance. So let's check out hull reinforcements. So you have your standard hull reinforcement, like this one, this class 5 that's fully upgraded gives me 738. If I just had the standard class 5, 390. So engineering does make a big difference when it comes to making your ship more worthy to do whatever the task is at hand. So, upgrade your ships. That's the whole gist of this, is you want to have the best ship for the job. Especially if you're doing combat or mining. You can make it to where you can mine faster, or you can hold, or you can jump further, or you can scan stuff further. Trading, you're looking at making all your stuff lightweight and making it to where you can jump further. But yeah, I mean that's basically what this game is about: is unlocking these engineers, upgrading your ship, and making it to where you can um, do the task the quickest, the best, or whatever you want to call it. So let's go actually take a look at an engineer that is close by. So give me a few minutes and I'll show y'all, or I'll be right back in just a minute. Alright, so I'm pretty close to the engineer. Now, the way all the engineers work is they are actually on the planet's surface, and once you find the location they're at, which you can go to it from the engineer thing in your right side, you look for the one that has the little nut icon, like, you know, the nut and bolt kind of deal, and then you select it. Now, I don't think I've covered landing at planetary yet, so we're going to go ahead and give a little bit of a tutorial for this. What you're going to do is you're basically going to go into orbit, and you try to come in at around a 30-degree angle. It's a little bit more complicated than that because you do have to match speed and all that. But it's easier for me to show you than it is for me to tell you. I am still not the best at this, even though I've done it, you know, hundreds of times. Because you also have to factor in the gravity of the planet and whatnot, because sometimes if it has a high gravity, it will pull you down faster, and you'll end up going in too fast, and it will drop you out further. At that point, you just have to go back into Super Cruise, and then try a second time to get closer. Typically, if I'm under 100 kilometers from the target, I just boost my way the rest of the way there. Like now, I'm coming in pretty hot, so I need to slow down. And once you get close enough to the planet, it will kind of show you where it is on the planet. Because typically I always come in from the wrong side and it's on the far side of the planet. But yeah. Actually, it looks like there's multiple planets here. Actually, it's probably on a moon. I hadn't been to this one in a while. We're going to, I believe it's Heratani, who is the armor, because she was close to where I already was. So yeah, what you want to do, yeah, it looks like she's on this side of the planet. I just need to come in about a 30-degree angle. That's a little bit too much. Still maybe a little bit much. You see the blue? That's where we're going to drop into orbit mode. And then the yellow, I think I'm... Oh yeah, I'm coming in way too hot. Way too hot. Oh, abort! Abort! Yep. See, this planet has that high gravity like I was talking about. So we'll just fly a little bit away. I have to wait for my FSD to cool down. So yeah, see, it even happens to the best of us. I came in a little bit too hot, and at the wrong angle, it dropped me out. So we gotta wait for FSD to cool down. And once it does, we can try to jump back out and come back at it again at a slightly better angle and much slower. The gravity was just pulling us in so fast that there was no way to abort, really. I tried to pull up, but it wasn't enough. Okay. Do I have to do the 90-degree angle thing? It says align with ship trajectory. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to slow down completely. Try turning around and seeing if we can... Oh, except I need to be just high enough that I'm not going to accidentally drop out. Let's see if I can get... Nope. Yeah, we're going to fly away a little bit and come back. Just because we are a little bit too close for me to be able to see the settlement. Okay, so now we're 100 kilometers out. We should be able to turn around, and I am controlling my throttle, by the way. Okay, see, now we got the little blue thing in our, whatchamacallit. Yeah, this is much better. Much better angle. So we get ourselves into the blue on our throttle, and then come in around between a 35 to 30 is usually best. And if you're matching the right speed, it will go into glide mode. Now the glide mode is going to cover a lot of distance really quick, but it will drop us out typically around between like 10 and 20 kilometers out, depending on the terrain. And if you notice everything is blue, it's because I have my, go ahead and slow down. I have my night vision turned on. Okay, and then typically, like, it's the same thing as docking at a station. If you have the auto dock, you just get within the certain amount, request docking, and it should dock me automatically. There we go. Perfect.
Access granted. Proceed to landing pad 07.
Okay, so it's going to dock me over at landing pad 7, which I actually needed to come here now that I think about it, because I have one more hull modification I needed to engineer. Hopefully I've got the components, but components we'll discuss in the next video. I was just kind of showing you how to access these guys first, and girls, because there are female engineers. If it's taking forever to land.
Lighting gear deployed.
Alright, nice. Yeah, let me turn off my night vision so you can see it. Like, she's got like a biodome and all kinds of... Typically the engineers have really cool sediments. Alright, well now we're docked. Let me go ahead and refuel and repair. And let's go into Starport Services. So at each engineer, you'll have, of course, the engineer themselves. What you have is this thing called the Engineer's Workshop. You have outfitting as well in case you wanted to buy a specific thing that typically they engineer, but they don't always have everything. You come into the engineer, and let's browse all this time. Oh, actually, that's all she has. In the modify your module, it has what you have equipped available first. But sometimes they have other things, so you can kind of check out and see what all they have. If she had more, like Todd, the Blaster McQueen has, you know, like 5 different things he can modify. But once you come to this, you're going to select whatever you want to modify. And as you can see, I've modified some of them. I haven't done them all the way. But you select the one you want to do. So select. And then you have the option depending on what you're looking at doing. So we've got the lightweight, we've got blast resistant, we have heavy duty. Which what I want to do is the heavy duty. So I'm going to click the one that I want to do. It's going to tell me what components it needs. Which for this it needs carbon. I have tons of it. And you hit generate modification. Generate. So what it does is it fills this up. Now it did it in one try because I've got her up to level 5 already. Normally it does it to about a third, and then sometimes it takes up to 5 generation of the, whatever you call it, the effect in order to get it full to get to the next rank. And the way this works is for each component you do have to go down the ladder, you know, do the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. You can't jump straight to the 5th one after you do just one. Every time you bring in a new module, whether or not it's even the same class, you have to step through the tiers. And then next, we also have what's called the experimental effect. So if I have the stuff, which I may not... Oh, I actually do. Although the... Yeah, no, I can do that. So what you do is, like, each one of these has special things. What right now, I want to do the deep plating purchase. You don't have to buy that one time. So I always buy it on the first one, because if I pin the blueprint, which I'm going to show you real quick, actually, yeah, it's right here. You can unpin or pin it, depending on what you want. Like, I always want heavy duty, so I pin this. So now that I have started modifying this, and I have, actually I wouldn't even have to start, you can access these from an actual standard starbase, or any, you know, thing. So as long as you have pinned one, you have access to that specific one no matter where you're at. You can't do the experimental effect like I just did, but you can do the standard engineering. And basically, you just come through here. I go through the next one, which I'm going to go ahead and do all of this one because, for as far as I can, I think I can probably get to rank 3. See, like, I didn't have to get completely all the way there to get the next one. It's like, I think once you get 90%, let's make sure I don't need those for anything. I don't think so. So see, that took a couple tries. But see, for here, now I'm out of the components for that one. So anyway, that is engineering. And there's all the different kinds of effects you can do, and you can engineer every single item that you can put on your ship. So anyway, great thing to look at. The next video, we're going to talk about how to actually get all these different types of components. We'll probably do one a week right now, just because it's a completely different way of accessing it. Like vanadium, which is a raw material you have to get from a planet's surface. Or you can do it mining. Sometimes you get those mining. Shielding sensors, that is a uh, manufactured, which you have to get from a different way. You have to do scanning stuff and going and picking up stuff. So we'll show that. That's my favorite one to do. And then the other one is like, let's see, it's not going to be on this one. It's like scan data. So you have to scan like ships, like wakes and stuff like that, which I'll show in a video as well. But anyway, this is Mirrodin Gaming. I hope you enjoyed this brief introduction into engineering. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell notification icon so you get to see all my videos. We're doing Minecraft, Medieval Dynasty, Borderlands 3, and of course, Elite Dangerous. If you have any other games you want me to check out or do series on, just let me know. I'm always up for new games, and I have quite the library myself because I am a gamer. I have, PS4, computer, Nintendo. I don't have an Xbox. I don't know why I never got an Xbox. I've been a PS4 fan or PlayStation fan and Nintendo fan. But yeah. So anyway, this is Mirrodin Gaming, and I'll see you in space.